Hi guys, and welcome back to Birmingham Fan TV, episode 9. I think it's 9. Is my maths out?
Yeah. You are correct, it's 9.
It is.
My enthusiasm in entering every episode doesn't seem to phase. It just
we are only on 9.
Everyone, you're always like, do that one again. It's too loud. Like, your intro is too loud.
You just forget which episode it is every single time. Is it 8? Is it 9?
I'm like, because I don't jot it down. I don't ever say like, "Oh, we're on this episode," but
I'm my own biggest fan. It's 9.
You are.
I keep solid track of everything that goes on.
I'm pretty sure like 100 of like 600 odd episode views are you.
Me just clicking over and over again, reading the same comments.
Yeah.
Boosting your ego.
Making random accounts, commenting on those as well.
That is essentially.
But thanks so much, guys, for the recent feedback. I guess it's been more than welcome. I think that as long as people are beginning to enjoy it, we're beginning to tinker around with it and try and change it for the better. I know that
you say like we've had some terrible feedback. I'm waiting for the.
I was going to say we don't really have bad feedback, but to know that people are enjoying it.
Yeah,
the key. And the more the weeks go on, the better the feedback's getting, the better the episodes will continue to get. I've already got my little notepad out ready for next season, trying to...
He bought a notepad today. Getting serious now.
We got a flag.
We've got a flag.
Yes.
Behind us.
The only way is up, Jimbo.
I think I got this. I think Blues did it on this day in 2009. Kevin Phillips sent us up from the Championship at Reading, and that was 10 years ago.
Keith Farhi
got the first one. He did. And I'm pretty sure I got that flag that year, so I'm pretty sure this flag is 10 years old.
Wow.
Were you going to the Blues when they used to have the massive flag out every single game?
Yeah.
The start of every game?
Yeah.
Why did we stop that? To get nicked?
Because we didn't have enough fans in certain sections.
Yeah, yeah, that's
the
true.
flag would get
I used to love that as a kid. Every single game, and you'd watch it slowly go back and back, and then it'd hit the wall because we're not smart enough to keep it straight. It kind of goes in a U shape. We're like, oh, I thought it was coming our way. Apparently, it's not.
Starts off like well in the Tilton as well. And then by the time it's got halfway around the cop, the badge is upside down.
The badge is upside down, yeah.
See, I missed out on things like that growing up.
Oh, you had tractors where you're from.
Oh, I know.
Just sympathy. Yeah, you saw tractors turning over. I'm pretty sure everyone
you get stuck by the tractor on the A419.
A little bit sidetracked. Thanks so much, guys. And if you can leave a like on this video before we do get into the episode, we'd really appreciate that.
Before, because it's all downhill from here. So like it now.
Like it now. Don't forget to comment throughout. Obviously, your thoughts on the topics. And leave us some questions for next week, and we'll try and pick up on some of those.
Because we're going to have nothing to talk about.
I was going to say, after the game, we go, right, what next?
Content is drying up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've got a little side note. The episodes aren't on iTunes currently because we're having an issue with SoundCloud. So
I'm too cheap, and I don't want to pay for Spotify Premium.
In effect, I can't afford to pay for them on iTunes, so we may set up some sort of Patreon or something. We haven't really discussed it yet. So if you guys do want it on iTunes, that's fine. But if not, otherwise you're going to have it on YouTube, stick it on your car, plug it into your car, and just listen through the radio like that. So apologies for that. But
the Patreon will be patreon.com/buy Mark new Superdry hoodies. That's what the fund's really for.
I was going to say, you've got one back.
Nothing to do with iTunes. No, I've worn this one before, though. It's a repeat.
You've only wore that because you got criticised last week
for not wearing...
For wearing that,
that Cardinals...
Yeah.
Cardinals shirt, yeah.
I was going to say something in the episode, but I thought, I'm going to...
I thought I'd promote a Yankee sport, but...
And it was Vans the week before, wasn't it?
The week before.
Nah, not good enough.
It's hard being a fashion icon on a shoestring budget. I've now worn everything in my wardrobe on this podcast. Short of coming in naked, I promise it's going to be repeats.
We're only on episode 9.
No one wants to see that.
Wow, we are really scraping the barrel with you, aren't we? I think we need to get this like a band-aid, rip it off, get it out of the way. The game on Saturday. Mark wasn't there, of course.
I wasn't there. Oh, wasn't it great when Lee Camp did that thing and then Shay Adams did
that thing? And
what a game.
I think that I didn't do a match review of that game because one, I thought, why the hell would I? It was dire and no one's going to want to watch that again. No one's going to want to relive it. And two, I thought I'd save it for this. After 90 seconds, I was thinking, Christ, this is going to be a rout. We were 1-0 up. Oh my God, we've scored already, one punt upfield. I think Gardner played it upfield. Jonas Olsen, for some reason, is still being paid a wage by a football team. No idea why. if Jukovic can outpace you, you know you're in trouble. And he did, and he rolled a decent finish under the keeper.
It was through his legs, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what they said on the radio.
Yeah, it's through his legs.
It was a great goal there.
I was out in a storm working, so...
Well, it was cold on Saturday.
Bloody tell me about it. You try working in it, kid.
I was sitting in it just as bad.
Yeah, ditto.
I mean, thoughts on that one? I thought that obviously the start was positive.
Good start, great goal. All downhill from there.
Brutally put.
Well, it's true though. I mean, I think we thought going into the last 2 games of the season that we were going to try and finish as high as possible, or at least give it our all to the end of the season. And I think that's what we went into the match expecting, to have a bit of a game against Wigan. Maybe the younger people were going to get played and things were going to be a bit different. But I didn't think we were going to play like that. It was almost like we just didn't care. And that's what really annoyed me, is because, okay, we're safe, but at the end of the day, you've still got a job to do in the last 2 games of the season. And, I mean, I've paid for my season ticket, but people that have paid for... Yes, I promise I have. The people that have paid, Wigan at home wasn't cheap. It was like £25 for an adult.
About 20 quid for
in
an
some places.
$20.
Understand?
$20.
So that's a lot of money to go to watch a football game where the players just didn't really bother.
Do you think they weren't bothered, or do you think the sudden disappearance of Morrison, Dean, Magoma?
I think it was a bit of both, because, I mean, we had Lucas Jukovic and Shea Adams on the pitch. Shea just didn't seem...
Not
there.
that they didn't care. I think that the problem...
I'm not saying they
was-
don't care,
Yeah.
in effect, but it was the way that they were conducting themselves on the pitch. But when Shea went down and everyone thought he was like going to be seriously injured, I think that sort of showed that they were just sort of like playing almost a training game for them, rather than an actual game. And that sort of annoyed me a bit, because from a consumer point of view and a fan point of view, you go and you pay and you watch them play, and if they're not going to play... What's the point?
Going? Yeah.
But I don't want to criticise them. But
even though you just spent 20 minutes.
But I just was really disappointed, actually, and it sort of put a dampener on my weekend and ruined my life.
So this has been the last episode of the Bftv podcast.
Because Emily's
Emily's,
went. Yeah, after Wigan at home. I think we all feel like that when we play Wigan at home, if I'm honest.
Do you know what though? It says a lot when my dad, a Bristol City fan, texted me when Lucas Jukovic scored and put, "Juki!" Shows how much he's being appreciated in the Championship. And for us to let him down, as he was the captain of that day, was abysmal in my opinion.
Was there that much excitement in his voice when he texted that? Do you know?
There was.
Yeah, there was. I showed James. He was like, "Whoa!"
The reason was he definitely had a bet on. I know, and he bets on us, and I know he does. So, don't try and hide the fact that
it's got nothing to do with Juki.
Gamble responsibly, people.
Unless you're Emily's dad.
When fun stops, stop.
Yeah.
We're not endorsing anything though. They were playing at.
Unless they sponsor us, in which case we definitely will endorse it.
Please,
someone do. We need new mic. No, we don't.
We need new hoodies.
Yeah. But they were playing at sort of 60%, I think.
Was that both teams or just us?
Wigan wanted it a little bit more, but maybe that's because they wanted to give the travelling fans something, which is what I'm hoping will come from this Saturday.
I doubt it though.
Sunday when we play from Reading, is that obviously fans they took 1,400 fans.
Yeah,
they've travelled to go and see them play.
Obviously, I wasn't there, so I can't really comment. And I hate it. You know, when you ever listen to, dare I say, BBC WM on the way home?
I do listen to WM quite a lot, actually.
It drives me mad, but occasionally I do. But then you get someone ringing up and go, "All right, Frank C. Yeah, nah, well good today, Frank C. Well good. Were you there, were you, pal? Nah, I listened to it on the radio, but it was good. How do you know, mate? You listened to it on the radio. How the hell do you know?
Was this your conversation with WM at the weekend?
All right, Frank C. All right, lad. No, it drives me mad when people either base their opinions on Facebook comments or Twitter comments,
which happens a lot,
or they heard commentary on the radio. I don't trust people who've heard someone else describe the game and now form their opinions on it. So for me, if you don't watch it or weren't there, don't really care about your opinion.
This is why you're not giving your opinion.
However, I'm now going to give my opinion. I was going somewhere with that and I've forgotten what I was saying. Oh, yes. Oh, it's got nothing to do with... Yeah, okay, so I wasn't there, so I can't really pass too much of an opinion. However, I will say, other than when I mentioned on this podcast a few weeks ago about Hardy Dean being injured,
yeah,
you didn't know it at the time, did you?
I didn't know at the time.
No.
Genuinely thought it was just because of Pedersen.
Yeah. And we like
and I felt really bad because it came out the next day after we released the podcast. I was like, oh.
I still think that's partly to do with Pedersen. But yeah, Dean was injured. We didn't know about it. My question would be, how many other knocks are all the others carrying? And you know my opinion about footballers.
Probably
they need to man up.
Probably a lot.
But I wonder how many are carrying knocks or close to carrying knocks, or how many of them think I may not be here next year.
Well, Hotter was touch and go, wasn't he, to make it Saturday?
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to make it as well, but made it at the last minute. Mahoney wasn't going to be on the bench, I was told, but was on the bench with an hour to go.
Yeah. Hence
why he didn't come on.
Is it they didn't care, or is it a bit of self-preservation, perhaps?
I think that is
or a mixture of the two. I say I can't give an honest opinion because I listen to it on the radio. I don't know, but it's a possibility.
I think that's it. But then also, there's 2 more games. At the time, there was 2 more games after the season. If we weren't safe, would they be playing like that?
It's almost... No, of course they wouldn't. No, if we
weren't
I don't
safe,
think so.
Because you see what I mean, though? Like, why should they play...
They don't want to get injured. And if they go into it now, their muscles and that are tired. If they sustain a long-term...
He's playing for Nottingham Forest, James.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. If they sustain a long-term injury, they're out for next season. They don't get a pre-season under their belt, and they're playing catch-up.
Yeah, I completely get that.
My opinion of pre-seasons.
Yeah.
You're rubbish then. If you don't believe in pre-season, I don't want to talk to you.
Look, I completely agree with that. But then again, I'm also annoyed that
you didn't get your money's worth.
I was angry. I was furious.
I feel bad for those people. I always say that maybe if people pick one game to go to a season, they'll go to Villa or something. But if people that don't normally go to games pay £25 to watch us at home to Wigan, which is an extortionate price anyway, I personally believe that if you charge home fans £15 max.
I'm asking why the hell you picked Wigan of all the games to go to.
And I'm thinking you try being like an Arsenal fan or something. If you think £25 a lot.
I was going to say the cheapest season ticket they're about 1.2.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. But everyone.
No, cheapest is 1.2.
No, I mean they are the most expensive team for a season.
Those and Spurs.
It's because you get the Champions League games involved.
Yeah,
you do. Yeah, my friend's an Arsenal season ticket.
Beside the point, though.
Anyway, I was
I
was furious with the game during the game, and my dad was just like, "You need to calm down. You need to calm down."
What to you? Your shirt off, ready to go.
He was like, right, that's it. I'm getting on that pitch. Give me my boots.
I was actually like,
I play for Forest, you know.
My Nike, was it T90s or something?
Oh yeah, something. I was getting angry, but then
Gary, sub me on, pal.
I sat down and thought, why the hell am I getting angry about this? We are safe, and this is a meaningless game.
Because you care, James.
But I care. Rips the shirt off.
Gets his tat out.
Oh, for God's sake, get it off my arm.
Get your nips out, Jim.
No, weird.
I don't mind if you show yours. You'll get yours out.
I have no shame.
No one wants to say that.
This is what the viewers have come
That's
for.
what the viewers have come for. Patreon, you sign up now, £20 a month. Nipple a month. From James.
I was going to say from me. You don't know which one it's coming from, but it's coming from one of us.
It'll just be a random nipple you get to guess. Guess who it's from.
Duke is captain.
He's got ginger hair on it. Duke's captain.
I think that was the perfect move, and if anything...
It was a sweet moment. It was a Disney moment.
It was, wasn't it? It was
particularly when he scored.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Nobody deserves it more than him, though. If Morrison wasn't captain, he would be captain.
Colin.
No, Max would not. He's not. For me, he's not a leader.
Talking of Max, shall I...
No, he doesn't get it till he starts being nicer to me.
Well, we met a certain Maxime Colin after the game on Saturday. If you saw on Twitter, I tweeted, we're talking about Mark's birthday, I tweeted, Max, help me out
It's
here.
your birthday, you never mentioned.
He messaged me.
One more time, I'm going to go cry.
He messaged me, we sorted something out, we met him after the game. We waited till he was done speaking to everyone else because obviously it makes me anxious, and I was like, no, I can't go and talk to him.
You're the VIP.
So I just texted him, I was like, I'm in the bright pink coat, you can come find me.
Come to me.
We met certain Chris Pugh from Tilton Talk Show. That's why I was like, Max, you can wait, mate. Chris is here.
Chris is here.
But yeah, we were walking back to our car, and we were walking down the road, and we heard beep, beep, beep. And we're like, what the hell is that? It's Maxime Colin peering out the window going, oh yeah.
So now you're bros?
Oh, it was great.
Besties for life.
But I want to...
Oh, God, there's only two of us.
I want to give this to Mark as a happy birthday. Joyeux anniversaire, or bon anniversaire. No, happy Christmas. That's a bit mixed of both. Bon anniversaire from Maxime Colin to you.
It's not his underpants, but I'll take it.
It does smell of it.
Does it smell of it? Does it smell French? Does it smell of frog legs and garlic?
Oh,
it does a bit.
Do you know what though? He's got really soft hands and he's really nice.
He's a nice guy.
I don't think it's going to fit me, I'll be honest.
Don't put it on.
It's actually a small. I haven't been small since I was about 6 years old.
Don't put it on.
So thank you very much, Emily and Jimbo, and thank you, Max Collin, who's not watching this, but thank you anyway.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday to me. I mean, if anyone wants to send me something else.
No, I'm the only one here that hasn't had anything this season, so it's my turn. My turn to lord in it.
This is my moment. Thank you to everyone who retweeted and liked and got Max, like basically peer pressured him into giving me a shirt.
Max, give the poor guy a shirt.
It's appreciated and it will be framed on my wall. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Campy. First of all, was absolutely hounded for the goal we conceded.
I didn't see it. Is that fair?
Obviously,
from my angle, it didn't look great.
I didn't think it was fair, personally. I thought it took a massive deflection into the other corner. Massive deflection into the other corner.
Oh, I did see the highlights. Didn't he run to one side of the goal?
Yeah, he bounced out. That's where it was going.
And it's supposed to be the flash and then just appear on the other. You got the blame for not being the flash, essentially.
See, from my angle, I mean, I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see it properly.
So this is going to be a pointless point, but
yeah,
go on, give it anyway.
I can't remember who it was that scored, but they hit
Nick Powell.
Yeah, it's not stroked. He kicked the ball,
struck it.
Yes, and it just. For me, it looked like it just went in the other corner and he was there and I was like, what? But then if you watch back the highlights, it's actually like...
From what I saw in the highlights, it was going to the left corner, he dove to the left, he bounced out, it went to the right corner. Camp isn't 20 foot tall, he couldn't reach it. I thought, I don't know how you could blame him, but as I say, I wasn't there.
No. So he gets hounded for that. Alright, 50-50. People said he could have dived when he was on the... because he was kind of...
watching it.
About a yard and a half from getting to it, and people said, why didn't he dive? Because he didn't dive. Okay, fair point, he could have, but I think that it was a goal. There's not much he could have done about it. If he'd have saved it, it'd have been a great save. Meh. And then after the game, I know we've been asked this on Twitter to cover this.
Who asked?
So Kyle asked us on Twitter thoughts on those two blokes that asked Camp to take a photo of them outside the ground. I want to put my opinion first.
You want to put yours first?
Shock horror. I think that if the case was that it was just that video and that was the end of it and they got him to take a picture, it's a bit annoying on my part. I think it's a little bit frustrating because the guy's not there to do that. And alright, you treat him as a normal bloke, but I think that it would have been a tad disrespectful. But I think personally there's more to that, and I think afterwards, after the video, they'd have said, nah, we really want a photo with you. And if that's the case, I'm like, you know what, that's good banter. Depends how it went down after.
I agree. I think I would be amazed if afterwards they didn't say to him, "Only joking, can we have a photo?"
Yeah.
It would be nice if whoever put the video on also put. Lee took this in a great way. Like Lee totally saw the funny side, and then we had a photo, and here's the photo with blah blah blah. But it's only half the story, and it makes me think the two guys who had the photo perhaps didn't want to make him look a mug. They just had a genuine joke. My dad says it all the time. Wouldn't it be funny to go up and take photos? Like,
and I get it.
I totally get that joke. No problem. It is funny, yeah. So I don't necessarily think the two blokes taking the photo meant it to look as harsh as it was. But I wonder if the guy who put it on Twitter purposely didn't show the rest of the story because he thought it's all laugh at Camp. Having said that, you know my opinion on footballers, they are just blokes. Some of them are very talented blokes, some of them are gorgeous blokes, Max Collin. Some of them give me shirts for my birthday, but they are just blokes. Yeah, they are just blokes at the end of the day.
I feel sort of bad at the Camp.
I feel bad, but at the same time, if someone did it to me, I'd like to think I'd laugh.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't. You'd cry.
I would. I'd be fucking heartbroken.
I think it depends, though, because after all the stick he's had from the fans this season, whether he'd take that as banter, if that is it, and then that's the end of it, and then they just went off after, I think that's an absolute mick take, and it's so rude. But then again, if they go, oh, all right, mate, I'm sorry, it was just really funny, and then they had the photo together, fine.
Which is what I'm guessing happened. I mean, just in case anyone hasn't seen it, because we haven't actually explained what it is. Two blokes walk up to Camp in the car park, say, can we have a photo? They give the camera to Lee Camp.
And they say, no, you go and take the
And
photo.
then, no, we want a photo of us, you take the photo. They make Lee Camp take a photo of them. And it's an old joke.
Yeah.
I've done it before. I once saw... You ever heard of the band We Are Scientists?
I've heard the
Might
name.
be before you say.
I've heard
I've
the
been
name.
hit. I've been like an indie band. Anyway, they were doing and Violent Delight. You ever heard of Violent Delight?
No.
I wish there was a good no. Both of those bands did signings at HMV, 2 separate occasions. Both occasions I gave them my autograph instead of having theirs. Because I thought it'd be funny.
You were
And
that guy, weren't you?
I'm
You were
that
guy.
prick. They thought it was funny. I got Violent Delight to sign my boobs and gave them my autograph because I was a little punk kid. So like it's a common joke, and here you're famous, but you take a photo of me. I get the joke. The only thing is, if you'd done that to Shay, no one would say a word because Shay's had a great season. I think the problem is Camp it's the unspoken prelude to it because Camp has come under criticism.
Yeah.
It looks like one more boot
Yeah.
in. When in reality, they could have done that to absolutely any player. So it looks like they targeted him and thought, we're going to make him look a mug. And he's just a bloke at the end of the day. He's not above being made a mug of.
Yeah.
Like, none of us are.
Me especially.
Yeah, exactly. But it does look spiteful.
Little
But
bit,
exactly
yeah.
like James said, I bet you any money afterwards
They
that
said,
photo
nah.
with him, and he shook their hands and he saw the funny side. But unfortunately, people take things at face value, and when all they see is the Mickey take on Twitter
Yeah.
and Facebook, they go, "Oh, it's an outrage! Oh, I don't have the ability to think outside the box and think what might come before and after this. I only judge on what I see." Like listening to a game on the radio and judging on.
Weird that, innit? Weird how people do that. There's been a lot of talk around the 2 loanees, well, the 2 main
Which
loanees,
ones?
Gary Gardner
Mahoney
and Mahoney.
Guards.
Have we seen enough from those 2 this season to warrant? Obviously, I said to you yesterday, I've heard that both Mahoney has agreed a deal in principle with the club. This is just a rumour
Pulled out your arse.
from a reliable source, but I'm
Your arse.
not disclosing who, because they'll beat me up.
Your dad.
And it was not my dad. It was not my dad.
And it's none of my contacts either.
But I've heard that he's agreed a deal in principle, but obviously the deal needs to be agreed with Bournemouth because they actually haven't spoken to Bournemouth yet. But he really wants to come back and he's going to push the move. And Gardner, we've been given a price tag for somewhere in the region of 2 million.
Well, yeah, the Conor Money deal, I don't want to mug off your contact because I don't doubt that it's completely legit. But if it's not agreed with the club, it's not worth the paper it's printed on, is it? Really?
I think
Basically, they've gone, "Connor, do you want to stay?" And he's gone, "Yeah, boy."
Yeah,
We got
but
safe down.
that is basically
Let me
what's
talk to
happened.
Bournemouth, yeah, and I'll see if I can link that. That's essentially what's happened.
Why have you gone like
I went
all
street.
street all of a sudden? Don't think the kid's very street.
I'm street.
I don't think he's very street.
Man's from the streets, you know.
No, you're not.
I am, though.
You sound like Bugsy Malone.
Do you know who it's actually based on? There was a kid in my college who was a drug dealer.
Brilliant.
And
Good start.
that was his accent. Like, if you ever hear that voice
Yeah.
and I'm not around, you've just met the guy I went to college with. Because it is the spitting image of him. I had 2 years perfecting his drug dealer accent.
You're weird.
So there you go. That's how I learned to be strict.
Would you take him back? Would you take
What, the drug
Mahoney?
dealer? No.
Yeah, would you take the drug dealer back? I don't think you've got a choice.
Would I take Money back? He is gorgeous, but if he comes...
Squad player?
Yeah, if he comes away, if he doesn't...
I'm on the fence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with it. I think
he can really turn it on when he wants to, and I think that he's a really good player and a good asset to have. However, I don't think he's like the be all and end all.
another Magoma for me. Lacks consistency.
Yeah.
While he's got clear talent.
If he can learn to pass the ball 3 paces earlier, definitely.
He's on it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, though. I don't know
Once he
whether
runs
it would
into
be
the
alone.
Merrick, like,
Yeah.
you've gone too far.
My burns are killing me on my arm. So I think the main one, because if Mahoney comes back, I presume it will be a loan deal again for another year.
That would be fine, though, I think.
And I'd take that, I think I would. Gary Gardner.
I'll break both your arms for him.
For Gary?
Yeah.
Who would you
Wow.
rather have?
Go on.
Gary Gardner
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Marlon Pack?
Marlon Pack.
Stupid
So
question.
I love Gary Gardner, but Marlon Pack.
Marlon Pack. But we're not talking about Marlon Pack because he's going to...
Can we talk about Marlon Pack?
No,
we haven't talked about him for 2 episodes now.
I was going to say. Bristol City are losing at the minute as we speak.
Which means Marlon Pack might become available.
No.
You don't want to stay with the losing side.
No. They're in the playoff hunt. Why would he move?
No, they're not.
They are.
Not anymore then.
Why did he move in?
If they lose, yeah, they're not. Look,
He'd have to come to Birmingham.
I think that I think 2 million's too much for Gary Gardner.
He's worth what you'll pay.
I would like to have him back, 100%.
The problem is, 2 million might be too much for us, but there's no denying he has had a cracking season. And what do other clubs value him at?
Yeah, that's true.
We need to remember we're not the only ones who might be interested in Lil Guards.
Lil Guards.
And that might be like they might be desperate to get rid of him because he's obviously a blue, and they're gonna like sell him on the cheap to us just to get rid of him because they hate him. Nearly swore then. Oops.
No, I just think that roughly I would pay no more than like 1.5 for him.
Really?
Yeah.
But even on inflated prices.
I think that while yes, everybody was on the beach on Saturday, his performances, he hasn't had a standout performance in maybe 6 weeks. Standout performance. I think at times he's been sloppy. I think Leeds may have been his last good performance. Thinking back.
When was Keith and Bell's last standout performance?
When he got injured at Leeds.
Yeah. Would you get rid of him?
No, but if I was looking,
Is it all about
if I was looking to improve, he'd only be a squad player again, and that's the ruthless nature of football.
Yeah, but we can't improve much, can we? If I'm honest, looking at our books, we can't improve a lot. We have to stick with what we've got.
I think if Shea goes, we can, but if Shea doesn't go, which there's a chance that obviously Edward Ching apparently said to somebody the other day that, or whatever.
I've told you about that, Jimbo.
Yeah,
hey, I wouldn't trust it. What?
No, I wouldn't chuck him.
Not the guy that said it.
Chuck him.
Edward Ching.
No, it wasn't Edward Ching. It was
Don Wren.
Don Wren.
His name's Dong. That's all you need to know.
The
guy's literally named after a dick.
He said that we're not.
He's named after a dick and the bad guy in Star Wars.
Yeah, you're right. You know what?
I haven't watched Star Wars.
Dick Star Wars. That's his new name.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah,
I forgot what we were talking about.
While he says that, we are not interested in selling. Well, of course we're not interested in selling. Nobody wants to see Adams go. Stupid thing to say. But if the right bid comes in, of course he's going to go.
I've already discussed before that he was 1 foot out the door, shall we say. In the same agreements Connor has had with us, the same agreement Shane may have had with other people.
Such as?
No comment.
Other clubs, though?
Other clubs, yeah.
Okay.
But again, a deal in... She, you want to come here? Yeah, boy! That sort of deal. An official deal.
Yeah.
Terrible. Look, I think ultimately I wouldn't pay the money for... Wouldn't pay 2 million for Gary Gardner. That's the ruthless nature. I think we can do better. With the money.
Who?
What do I keep tweeting about? I think recruitment abroad and lower leagues, there's more out there. I would love to have Gary Gardner back.
God help me if you say the word Norwich.
I'm not saying the word Norwich. I'm saying anywhere. I'm saying our recruitment needs to be better this season.
I'm saying anywhere in that region. Ipswich, Norwich, maybe. Anywhere on that sort of farmer. I don't know, maybe Norwich.
Oh God, my phone's going.
Is it someone from Norwich?
Is it someone from Norwich? No, it's not.
James said he was actually disappointed with the Norwich fans. With
I was fuming.
Their celebrations for going up.
Loving Sheffield United. Loving it.
I disagree. Did you watch the Sheffield United game when they went up?
Yeah.
I didn't.
No one ran on the pitch. I'm not condoning running on the pitch.
Did, yeah.
Literally, no, like, you've just got up to the Premier League.
They weren't actually confirmed up, though. They only got confirmed up when Leeds went up, when Leeds drew.
Yeah, but Leeds would have to score about 18 in a game.
But they are Leeds. They are massive.
Yeah, they'd have scored more.
So Leeds would have took more.
Yeah.
But Sheffield United have been class and Norwich just kind of went...
How about the Sheffield Wednesday tweet today?
Oh, God.
Quality.
I'm going to jump out the window.
For those who haven't seen it, please go on Sheffield Wednesday's official Twitter account.
Or the Facebook.
And see the statement from their chairman congratulating Sheffield United on their promotion to the Premier League.
Why?
If Blues did that, I would
stop my season ticket.
I would stop following them.
I'll go and buy a season ticket for Solihull Moors the next day.
Agreed.
Imagine us congratulating Witten on anything. Literally,
which wouldn't happen.
Just wouldn't happen.
We're allowed to unofficially congratulate them when they do charity work. or anything in the community. But as a
If
congratulations on your footballing success.
Yeah,
Absolutely
no
not.
chance. No chance.
No.
There's a line. And they crossed it. I think that the admin. Well, it wasn't the admin. It was the chairman that made that.
Chairman.
Well, he's just burnt bridges.
But even worse, if you look at the comments after that, there's Sheffield Wednesday fans going, "Yeah, classic from our club. That is. I agree with that. Do you really? Hell no.
I'd rather have every club in the Midlands in League 2 than say it's great to have a team in the Premier League from the Midlands.
See, it just doesn't sit right with me, the fact that they've done that, because where's this supposed rivalry then?
Yeah,
they can't just now say, oh yeah, we have a rivalry. You've congratulated your somewhat
Supposed
biggest
enemies.
opponent on getting promotion to the Premier League, which a few seasons ago you were fighting for.
Yeah.
So what?
This
How the hell
season
does
they tried
that?
fighting for.
I was going to say they've had a good back end.
So-
of the season.
I mean, when Wolves exactly that. When Wolves went up, I was happy for them because I have a bit of a soft spot for Wolves.
No, Mark, you're crossing the line again.
Let me explain
I love
why.
their style of football though.
Nothing to do with that. When I was a kid playing Sabutio,
No.
there was one team that played in orange, and I got ginger hair, so I gravitated towards that orange team. I used to like orange.
You're crossing the line
No.
again. I hate Wolves with every fibre.
Do you know? No, I never met a Wolves fan until I was about 18, so I had no reason to hate them. My school was full of Blues, Villa, Man United, because that was the era.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I never met a Wolves fan, so I never grew up with that hatred. My mother-in-law can't stand them because she grew up in the Black Country.
Yeah, but she knows as well. She
Yeah.
knows.
I mean, having said that, like I came on here bantering about Troy Deeney knocking him out of the FA Cup, and I went on Tilton Talk Show and mentioned them. I'll happily laugh at them now because they've got too big for their boots, but I'd never congratulate Villa. That's fine.
Yeah, no, that's like a line you do not cross.
Speaking of like Midland rivalry, Monk's been linked with West Brom today. In the summer, he apparently tops their list now of managerial appointments. Him and Slicky, how did you say his name? Jukanovic. Slavici.
The one who was at
Fulham. Yeah. He was a very, very, very good manager, and if Gary Monk was to leave, I would go and get him.
Who's your source?
It was the Daily Mail?
The Daily Fail.
Daily Fail, but yeah, there's the Daily Mail.
Who was the reporter, do you know?
I couldn't tell you.
Was it
I saw Jack having a go at the paper. Shock horror.
Was it James Nursery?
I couldn't tell you. I know Nursery doesn't like us.
He's a Villa fan.
I know.
My dad likes him. Apparently he's a really nice bloke. My dad sort of peripherally really...
James is Charter's best friend's a Villa fan.
Skill.
So they're not all bad. Just go on Jack's Twitter because you know that he's going to absolutely
Yeah,
pound in.
If there's some controversy, I go on Jack's Twitter.
Yeah.
We need to get Jack on here because we talk about him all the time and no one knows who the hell we're going on.
We were at the game and he was like, Emily, wave, I can see you. And I went, and he was like, oh, and I was in the cop and he was in the Gilmerick. And he was like, it's the pink coat.
We have a shared moment.
Yeah, it was cute.
No, it wasn't. It was Chris Wheeler.
Who?
The Mail, Daily Mail. It says that Gary Monk will be a contender to take over at West Bromwich Albion this summer, even if the club fails to win promotion to the Premier League. West Brom have won 6 of the last 9 Championship games since caretaker boss James Shan, who's a Blues fan I've heard, replaced Darren Moore last month and hope to go up through the playoffs. But they are likely to be in the market for a permanent manager at the end of the season, and it's understood that Monk is a leading candidate. Yada 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 yada. Monk has been in charge. Yada, yada, yada. West Brom have been impressed with the job Monk has done at their Midlands rivals, and it's believed he could be persuaded to move to the Hawthorns even if the promotion bid fails.
Midlands rivals?
The Midlands, I suppose. But my question to you is, would he leave? I think we asked this earlier off camera. No, he wouldn't leave, I don't think.
I don't think there's any point in him leaving.
While I think West Brom, again, will finish higher than us next season, which they will, I'm pretty sure of. No, I don't think he would. Because I think he knows that, for one, he's got a safe job here.
Yeah.
I doubt he's going to get the sack here. 2, I think he has grown to love the club. Not just manage the club, but love the club. And become connected with it. And if they don't go up, what's the point? There's pressure on him to get them up. He could fail. And... I don't see it personally.
What are you looking for, Mark?
I'm just reading through Daily Mail headlines, which include highlights such as Facebook unveils its biggest redesign yet, including Messenger desktop app. Big news. Meteor that struck the moon during January's totally eclipse was travelling at 38,000 miles per hour. These are all hard-hitting stories. The point I'm making is the Daily Mail is full of shit.
Of course it is.
Stop drinking protein shakes. Beverages may lead to weight gain, depression, and shorter lifespan. Studies suggest means Dave in the office just started a rumour and we're going to print it now.
But I already have depression. I'll keep drinking them.
Anything
one thing I will say. They were the ones to report that West Brom were looking to take Alex Neil from Preston. 2 weeks later, he signs a new deal at Preston to keep him at the club to fend off supposed other clubs. They didn't name any clubs. It was West Brom. I do believe that Monk will be headhunted by a few clubs.
This is the same West Brom, the same Daily Mail, who spend half their life slagging off Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, of course they do. I don't like the paper.
No, what I'm saying is,
I hate the paper. But
fair enough. I have strong opinions on mainstream media.
No, you do.
This is one of them. They know the football season's coming to a close. They need something that's going to draw a lot of clicks. What's going to draw clicks? One of the most successful managers in the Championship in terms of turning the team around.
Yeah.
The most successful manager we've had for a hell of a long time and one of the most likeable managers. Let's stir that pot a bit.
Yeah.
Let's get a load of clicks. Birmingham, second city. So
of course, yeah. And West Brom as well, who are one of the big boys in the Championship, apparently. You know what I mean?
They know he's one of the most loved managers in the league.
Yeah.
They know if they put any headline about him, Blues fans are going to flock to that, click the living crap out of it. West Brom fans are going to flock to that, click the hell out of that site. Yeah. Suddenly, Daily Mail gets advertised.
You tell Jack that because he's probably clicked on it about 10 times while screaming at his phone.
The point I'm making while I was completely absent from the podcast looking through Daily Mail headlines is the Daily Mail. I went to Reading Festival years ago and I saw My Chemical Romance and they had the entire crowd chanting "Fuck the Daily Mail."
Really?
Yeah, it was quite a moment.
Why?
I don't know, but it was quite funny because they got bottled after. Whoever completely off on a tangent, but whoever organised that festival decided to put Slayer on, like hardcore death metal, Raining Blood, da 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 da. After them, My Chemical Romance. So all the Slayer fans were literally in the crowd with arms full of bottles the minute they walked on stage.
Oh my god!
It's a magical moment.
I rate that.
And then I saw the streets and my skin got naked.
You're weird.
Was it my skin or was it someone in the crowd? Someone got naked. I saw a dick.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Monk, going or not going?
I don't think there's any point in them going. If he's come so far and built so much already.
We've come so far.
Don't, because I'm seeing them on Saturday. I will withhold my singing until next week, and then I'll do a full rendition of Back for Good.
You certainly won't.
I will.
Up, down, girl.
So basically, I personally believe that if Monk were to go now, I think it would just undo all the hard work he's done. I don't think he can necessarily replicate what he's done with our team with West Brom, because West Brom, if anything, were playing fantastically under Darren Moore. I still don't understand why they got rid of him. Because if I'm honest, yes, okay, their performances have picked up a little bit and they've got a bit better results. But every team in this championship has gone through spells of not playing so well. E.g. Leeds have. Bristol City are now going through that spell. Blues have. Wigan have. Hull were going amazing for a long period of time and then dipped off.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they sacked him, because I think he could have got them at least in the playoff positions.
They weren't going to move, but
so I don't understand why they sacked him. So if they want to bring in Gary Monk, why sack Darren Moore in the first place? Because he's only going to do the exact same thing. I personally think if Darren Moore came to Blues, I don't think he would have done as well as Monk necessarily. However, I think Monk, like you said, is more connected on an emotional and personal level.
Yeah.
And he does so much for the club that I haven't seen West Brom do. I mean, I'm sure West Brom do go out and help the homeless, but I've never seen on Twitter their manager go out and help the homeless and feed them of an evening and stuff like that. So I think that Monk enjoys it more on a sort of personal level rather than just a footballing level. So no, Monk ain't leaving, and they're full of rubbish.
When he leaves, this comes back to bite Emily.
I mean, if anyone is interested, there is a giggle-inducing moment of a young elephant falling flat on its face in the mud while struggling through a slippery crossing on the Daily Mail's Twitter. So,
all right, we get it. You don't like journalism. All right, we get it.
It's not just put there for clicks.
All right, we get it. You don't like them.
It's clickbait. Monk's not going anywhere. It's a load of nonsense. And look at the Daily Mail.
Yeah, okay.
Love it.
We get your.
We are getting sued.
I'm going on for the last 15 minutes of questions on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say something about Monk, but
go on.
Controversial. Right. Okay. So, are we in agreement that Monk seems to love this club?
Yes.
What are we basing that on?
I think
a gut feeling.
A gut feeling. Okay,
I
that's an honest
think
answer.
that
A woman's intuition.
I think that
That's
my opinion on
honest
Monk
answer.
is that he knows he's come in and he's taken over from a team that he knew that the only way was up.
Baby.
He's taken us out of safety. He knows that next season he knows that the squad we've got is good enough to not be in a relegation scrap.
Mhm.
Promotion, we'll ignore that. He knows that his job's safe. He won't get the sack because the expectations are low. They're low. So unless we go down,
I don't know. I think even then we'd
probably still keep him.
we'll probably keep him. So I think he enjoys the job on that sense, and I don't know. I just
it's a gut feeling.
I just watch his aura around the club, and I do think that he likes being in the club.
I don't disagree, but what I would say is bear in mind that his Twitter is not run by him.
That's obvious.
that's
yeah.
obvious.
The social media team at Birmingham City is overperforming. Like everything we see, yes, it's the players, yes, it's Monk, blah blah blah. But it's in their contract to do this stuff. The social media team are very good at their jobs. They hired Davo and I think Claire was there already for a reason.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to say, I don't think West Brom do as much as us. Perhaps West Brom's social media team isn't as good as ours.
But potentially.
I'll
hold my opinion on our social media team.
Well, yeah. Earlier when I said I'd never congratulate Villa, with the exception of charity work, whenever Villa do their sleep outs like we do for the Horsefield, Blues fans are straight on that. Oh, you're copying us, blah, blah. Does it matter? Firstly, that doesn't matter. Secondly, who says they're not doing that all the time? We just don't hear about it. Our social media team are very good at PR.
Yeah, they are. I think the PR work is alright.
There are a fair few...
Apart from today, they put 5 days to go instead of 6, and I saw that. It came up twice on my feed because I have notifications on.
I feel like you're being petty there.
It is 5, isn't it?
They put 5 and then they changed it to 6.
Oh, okay.
But the point I'm making is Gary Monk will have a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Yes, I genuinely do think he has an affection for the club, but I certainly wouldn't place in... Like, I've got no evidence of that because I don't trust that the PR put out by the club, as brilliant as it is, I don't necessarily think that's honest. And the rumours of him in January saying, I'm not happy with this transfer situation, I might be off, there is no way of knowing whether that was true or not. And if we go into the summer with a similar transfer policy of you ain't spending a penny, perhaps we may not keep him. I personally don't think he'll go, and I personally do think that he has an affection for the club, but there is no proof of that.
Yeah,
other
no,
than
you're right.
Paid PR
Of course. So
don't be surprised if you hear a lot of these offers.
we'll go on to questions onto Twitter.
Okay, I hope that was clear because I feel like
No, it was clear.
No, it was very clear.
No, I get that.
Put very well, Mark.
Oh, thank you very much.
First of all, Jack says, so Jack will give you his porn on the pitch, because obviously we didn't give you one this week.
Wait.
No,
We're doing it.
No, it's not happening.
James told me I wasn't allowed to do it anymore.
What?
No more.
What?
You do your bit.
Why?
Do your bit.
He thinks
The
it's
jingle.
dirty.
Do your jingle.
It is dirty.
Do your jingle.
No, I don't want to do that because I
Do
don't
your
know what's
jingle.
going to follow.
Do your jingle.
We're not allowed to put on the picture.
I'm going to put something else in there. I'm going to edit something else.
really?
In there. I have an idea. You do yours.
Wow.
I'm going to put a little flash thing on there now. Just trust me. It's going to be good. You've got to trust me. Because we can never hear Emily's.
Never hear it every time.
You can barely hear her.
He just doesn't want anyone else to hear me sound sexual, that's all.
Oh.
It's nothing to do with that.
Oh.
It's nothing to do with that.
You know Maxime Collin watched these.
He doesn't.
Well,
Carry
do
on.
you want to do that whole bit again then, assuming you're going to edit that discussion out?
No, I can just edit.
I'll
Edit.
edit, don't worry.
Mark, we're good at editing. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I can tell you edit because I start off this side, then the next bit I'm over here, then the next bit I'm
Of course
back
you
here.
do. Jack says that the referee blowing the whistle was the best bit.
That was the porn on the pitch.
Yeah, the referee blowing the whistle at the end.
I have to
What's
agree,
this?
we said this in the car earlier. James said to me, oh, what do you think your porn on the pitch will be this week? I don't have one. I went when the final whistle went, so...
We were all in agreement that it was a crap game.
There you go.
Mark Stever says, what's your all-time Birmingham City 11? What's your biggest highlight in your lifetime watching Birmingham City?
All time 11, we could be here.
Run through it very, very quickly.
I would need time to think. So I'll give you my highlights
Go
instead.
for the
My
highlight.
highlights were Auto Windscreen Shields final.
Auto windscreen.
I barely saw the game. Basically, if you imagine a row of heads there, that was my view. I was stood on the seat the whole way through. Longest game of my life. Legs were killing me. I remember going in the car on the way to Wembley, ripping all the newspaper up into little squares to throw in the air when the players came out. It was class.
How old were you?
What year was it? 95?
95, wasn't it?
So I would have been 7 or 8.
Fair enough.
And then when Tatey scored the winner, and then I had the newspaper clipping on my wall till for the next few years of him with his shit on the Villa shirt.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That was. It wasn't the best moment ever, but as a kid, that was
It's pretty good.
To me, I didn't care. We won a trophy. I didn't care what the status of that trophy was. Yeah, it was class.
Mine would be either the cup final, the obvious cup final, the Carling Cup final, or I think a close second place would be between either the playoff final in Cardiff or the West Ham semi-final in the Carling Cup, because that night was just crazy. But those would be my two. You've not had too much at the minute. However, Huddersfield at home, staying up 2 years ago.
No, that game was rubbish.
We won 2-0.
Shea Adams got sent off, didn't he?
Yeah, he did actually, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, and I sent my mum a photo of Harry Redknapp. I remember that.
Or Bristol City, that last day.
No, we were in the home end.
Yeah, I was in the home end and got figured out by half time.
Because of my dad.
That was a Blues fan.
My favourite moment probably was Swansea this season away. Probably because I was right at the front, right? And when Shea scored, he just came running to us.
To you.
To me.
Only.
Yeah.
Isaac Vassell waved at me that game for no reason whatsoever when he was warming up, and I was like, me? Are you sure? But it was just like the atmosphere there was amazing, and I really, really like Swansea Stadium. And the journey there, it was snowing. Journey back, it was like midnight, snow everywhere. And the whole occasion was great for me. So Swansea away this season was my favourite moment so far.
What was your worst moment?
Ooh, interesting question.
I'll give
you mine.
Well, then.
We'll start with
Right, so
yeah, I think Emily might have one.
Huddersfield in the Cup. We were commuting from London, weren't we?
You can't have that 'cause that's mine.
Well,
go on, you do
different
you
reasons.
do your reason, I'll do mine.
So Huddersfield in the Cup. We were we'd commuted up from London for that game only. We were at university. We still are, but we were at university in London. We lived there, and we came up and came back for every single game. I spent 30 quid because we went from it was 1-1, wasn't it? And then it went to extra time in that game. And either we had to leave and catch our train, or we missed extra time, or we stayed and we got a later train. I was like, I've never seen extra time before in a game. I'm staying to watch this game, and we might as well win because we were doing really well.
Yeah, we were class at the start.
And so I was like, right, that's it. So I said to James, right, I've booked later train tickets, spent a fortune.
Another 50 quid.
Which we did not have. So we were really hungry for the rest of the week.
Student loan. No.
Yeah.
And we went and lost 4-1. And I was fuming. So that's my least favourite moment.
I blame Steve Cottrell. Go on.
Okay.
I'll let you go.
Same game, different reason. Do you remember the weather?
Oh, God, yeah.
Me and my mother-in-law have a new definition of cold. If we say, oh, was it cold? Yeah. Was it Huddersfield cold? I have never been so bloody cold in my life. If you would have told me we were going to lose 4-1, I'd have said, do you know what, just have it.
Was that the game I took the photo of the snow?
Possibly, yeah. And when he blew that whistle and it was going into extra time, I was like, are you serious? I am so cold. Didn't we score first and they equalised late? And I thought, oh, God, I've never been so cold in my life. That was my worst moment. Not only as a football fan, as a human being. I've never been so bitterly cold in my life.
You're just a bitter person, Mark.
Oh.
Mine, I don't really look at relegations as like down points because
Who does?
Because I'm used to them. With Blues, we're used to them. I'll either go with there's like three options. There's either Liverpool at home when we got beat 7-0 in the cup. That was in 06. Bournemouth at home when we lost 8-0. However, the fans that day were phenomenal. I will never forget that for that reason, because the fans were amazing, even at 8-0 down. Or, I think not qualifying for the knockout stages of the Europa League, even though we got 10 points in the group stages, was pretty disheartening because we'd had a great campaign and you just wanted to. I think if we'd have gone through, we'd have got like Atletico or something. So it was a bit annoyed, but
I think with the big losses, once you get past sort of 5-0, 4-0, it just becomes funny.
It was the aftermath though. It was like
it's just. I remember as a kid we were playing someone at home. I forget who. We were losing 3-1. Then they scored again. We were losing 4-1. All the blokes behind us started cheering. The hell's going on, lads? Turned out they had a bet on 4-1 for us to lose. They then scored the 5th. They were all going mad. We were all laughing. It gets to the point where you've conceded so many, it goes from depression to just hilarity.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on.
That was the same with the ball.
I will get into the all-time Blues 11 in another episode.
I need time to think
we
about
need time to think about that.
Yeah. Mine probably this season.
Max Collin.
11 Max Collins.
Number 1. He's got
Maybe a shade thrown in there. Lee W1875. Hello, Lee. It says, can't you just discuss it's my birthday at the weekend?
Happy birthday,
Happy
Lee.
birthday!
Happy birthday, Lee. You owe Lee one as well.
You know how much it is.
So, question 1 is, would you sell Duke if a reasonable offer was made?
Oh, define reasonable.
Well, it's difficult.
What would you class as reasonable?
I was going to say, what do you value him at? I guess you compared to the market. Shay is going for.
Okay, let's rephrase this question slightly. What would you class as the selling point? Like, at which point would you say we cannot turn that money down?
$5 million.
I was thinking $5.
About $4.5, $5 million.
£2.50.
The problem is with Duke, age isn't on his side.
So he's not that old.
He's not old, but like he's not below the age of 26, 27. So
yeah, I think he's younger than me, which is depressing. I found that out the other day.
Oh, crazy! About $4.5, $5 million for Duke. I think he's going to get 14 this season, and like 11 assists.
That's what I'm googling actually. What's the most he's ever scored in a season?
He used to be quite prolific when he was younger. I'm pretty sure.
Was he at Partick?
Motherwell,
that's it. I knew it was
Coventry, Middlesbrough.
Is it Bolton?
Burnley,
Bolton, yeah. He's been at a few clubs and I think he's been around the block, but I think he's found a bit of a home with Blues again. I think he's one that genuinely cares about the club.
Yeah.
I
think he cares. I think he does as well.
Yeah. I don't want to lose him next season. I think he's going to be another key asset for Blues.
This is the most he's scored in a season for us. So to say, I mean, yes, age isn't on his side, but
we bought him for £1 million.
Maybe he's like a fine wine.
Maybe
this is the best season he's ever had.
Maybe in his twilight years, the next 2 or 3 years, he might get the best out.
How old was Ricky Lambert when he was banging him?
Well,
he
exactly.
was towards the back end. So you're saying 4.5 for 5 for me.
I'd say 4.5.
I would. Do you know what? Sorry, I don't.
That's all right. Go for it.
I would say, considering we're assuming Shay's going, I think
he'll
go.
Can't let him go if Shay goes.
I would say 7 million, 7.5 million.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Because we've got no reason to sell him.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you want to offer 7.5 million, then James can finally buy a Sombalonga.
I think from a PR standpoint, Duke is really good for the club.
Duke does so much off the ball.
I've had quite a few meetings with him now, and he's a really nice guy.
She says meetings. She's standing behind a bush. He sort of walks past.
I'm not that weird. I'm not Mark.
Hi.
But he's a really nice guy, genuinely nice guy, and he really wants to help people. So I think from a PR standpoint, it would be good to keep him as well.
He's a good ambassador, isn't he?
He is.
And
if Morrow wasn't captain, Duke would be my captain every day.
I think he would as well.
That's fair.
Him or
Harley.
I think he's a respectable role model for younger players to look up to.
Yeah, I completely, wholeheartedly agree.
Question 3, I think it's an interesting one. Is there anything about Blues which really annoys you? Yes.
I don't want to alienate people, so I'm not going to say it.
Yes.
I'll tell you what annoyed me, even though I wasn't part of it and wasn't there. Trevor Francis came to sign his books, didn't they?
Yes.
He sold out of books.
Yes.
How Blues is that?
It's kind of part of where
so
my anger comes from. I think...
Sorry, I will let you finish. I'm going to let you finish. As good as the PR...
Sorry.
Push, this is what we do good. The actual... running behind it is sometimes piss poor, and that whole signing was naff. There was a point, I've mentioned it before, when I was a kid, where Barry Fry turned up 2 hours late and my dad had a go at him for a signing. They turned up 2 hours late because who cares, we're just fans. I think sometimes, as great as they are with fans, I mean, you've just given me a shirt from Max Collin, like, there's no denying they are great at it at times. At times they are dire.
Yeah, I think it's It's a really important thing. We were, again, talking about it earlier over lunch. We had ham, egg and chips at Sainsbury's and Selly Oak, and we had a really nice time. However, we were discussing how absolutely diabolical our Blues as a business is run, e.g. club shop.
This is part of my anger as well. This is where my anger comes from.
Club shop poor. Give me the job as like organising things, because I'm so good at organising things.
I think that the club
But
itself,
I don't understand. They just don't have any sort of idea on how to run anything.
No. Yeah. Well, one more, because I know you're gonna. I feel like you're gonna go for a long run, so I'll throw one more.
Yes, you can see his face. His cheeks are getting red.
I'll throw one more in. Fast pay. I've never used it. I've heard it's crap, but I never used it.
I was asked to promote that by Davo. Like,
he turned up late.
I turned up 15 minutes late because he asked me to turn up at 1:30. I only finished work in Tamworth at 1:00. You know how hard that is to try and get. Anyway, but I never did it in the end. I don't know what they wanted me to do, but
fast pay, from what I've heard, isn't good. But they put a tweet out: if you haven't spent what's left on your fast pay card, it's going to be donated to the Huddersfield Foundation.
Yeah,
fine, no problem with charity. Love the Huddersfield Foundation. Fine. Who are the club to tell you that either spend your money in our shops, in our kiosks, or we're giving it away? Why can't you retain it to next season?
Yeah.
Who are the clubs to demand that you either buy beer or it goes to charity?
Yeah.
Why can't you withdraw it? Why can't you?
I thought you could withdraw it.
Or hold it to next season.
I thought you could withdraw it like throughout the season if you'd spent.
No,
I haven't read their terms and conditions, but at what point in there, in the small print, does it say, "Oh, by the way, if you don't spend it by the end of the season"? For all we know, people have put £300 on, thinking this will last 2 years.
Yeah.
No, it won't, because we're having it.
Do you know what would have been better if they had said that with, say, at least 3 home games of a season left?
Yeah.
People would have been like,
not
okay.
the last home game.
Yeah, people would have been like, okay, we'll not have lunch before we go, and we'll have a pie at the ground, and we'll have it like a family sort of like, we'll all have pies and drinks and stuff, and it'll be fine. We'll spend the money spend the rest of the money, and that'll be that. But if they tell you on the last day, or I didn't even see the tweet until we were inside the ground on the last day.
As I say,
then it's like,
I don't use fast pay. Maybe that was
don't.
made clear at the start. So if that was made clear at the start, I apologise to the club. But that seemed like news to me.
Yeah.
And there are certain things where they could be so good with the fans, but they can miss the mark so much.
Yeah.
You know my story. I've told off camera of the free tickets I got. I won a pair of tickets in separate rows. Yeah, I'll tell you in full.
I know the story. Yeah.
Well then.
Right, James.
He preps you ready.
Breathe.
I think that Em's right, and me and Em both share the same opinion that the club itself, as a top to bottom, strip the club back, take every level of it, look at it as a business standpoint and as a image standpoint, is woeful. Beyond woeful.
It's embarrassing.
Look at the commercial department. The commercial department is either run by kids or people that don't know how to run it. And I was asked to be brutal. I'm going to be brutal. The club shop is atrocious. The club shop is the worst thing I've ever seen.
I will say it's a lot better than it used to be.
Than it used to be.
Since we've got Adidas, it's a hell of a lot better than it was. There's
However,
a lot more selection.
Expensive. The Adidas stuff is expensive.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't buy it. It's a rip-off, but
it's nice stuff.
The selection is a lot better than when I was younger.
Once you move out of that little corner that's Adidas, though, everything else is crap.
Maybe.
Pretty much.
We bought a notepad.
They don't even make... They used to have season reviews. Just sell the old season reviews. I used to like them. I don't know where they've gone.
Maybe. Okay, yeah.
The club shop is terrible, and it's too small.
It's too small.
They need to build a
I suppose they're restricted with space, but
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Where else do we go? I don't think the media department are that good. I think they make a lot of mistakes. I think that, while everybody makes mistakes, they are an official account. If I make a mistake, fine. If they make a mistake, they're paid to do that job.
Do you have examples?
I'm going to say...
Loads. How many times the Twitter page criticised or whatever? Blues TV never works.
Yeah.
And people pay for that. I pay £50 for Blues TV a year.
I can't say.
No.
I may pay monthly for it.
Yeah, I pay monthly. It's crap. While I get it and I love the idea, for £50 a year, you get nothing. You get minimum content, and while they're trying to improve, I can see a gradual improvement. It's still terrible.
Are you talking as a UK subscriber?
Yes.
Okay, I'm talking as an international subscriber.
International subscribers get more frustrating. Shut up. And it never works. You see a lot of people moan about it all the time.
You do, but yeah, okay. It's better than watching them on Facebook. Put it this way.
The ground itself as a whole, as in like the kiosks and all that, crap. Always crap.
The queues.
The tannoys. The tannoys, crap. They're deafening now, and then it's not a good sound. It's just loud rambling. The screen sometimes never works. The announcer
keeps changing.
They keep changing, and they hate the one they bring in. The guy that does it usually is all right, but then the screen, when they're trying to read the teams out at the start, and the screen, he's having to catch up with the screen, or vice versa.
It's so unprofessional.
Everything about the club, for me, just feels half-arsed. We don't feel like a proper club. We don't feel like a well-oiled, well-run club. And I feel like at times, this is not a dig to anybody that's watching, it probably is. Sometimes I feel like the fan base, while I love this fan base, and I think that we're one of the most passionate and brilliant fan bases in the country, holds this club back at times. I feel like everybody is so against moving with the times as a club. In some aspects, I don't want the club to bring in drums or goal music or any of that garbage. But my God, everything behind the scenes in terms of media and the club and the commercial side of it and the image side of it needs to change. And the fans moan every time something changes for the better, if you ask me.
Chip and win's good though.
Chip and win is excellent. Chip and win is one of the one things we do get right.
I love it.
I love a good chip and win, and every time someone doesn't gamble, I am gonna throw my season ticket because why the hell would you take a pair of match tickets or a sign ball? But yeah,
I would, because I can't kick a ball properly.
Yeah,
but yeah,
there's some valid points there. You may be overly critical on some of them.
Some of them
but I think they are valid criticisms.
I like to set high standards, and if I had more ability within this channel, I would set higher standards.
I must say that the PA doesn't bother me. I don't notice it. Where I sit, it sounds...
The change of PA, when the guy changes...
No, I don't even notice.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Perhaps I don't pay enough attention.
I've seen a lot of tweets about it, but...
What we were looking at as, if anyone wants to hire us, we're looking for full-time jobs at the moment, me and James. We were looking on a job website, I'm not going to say which one, for legal reasons, but we were looking, and I can't remember which job it was, but it was at Blues, because we want to work for the Blues, obviously. And they were...
You've just shot that in the foot.
We want to fix the Blues,
that bridge is burning right behind us.
They were going to pay a full-time person 10 to 15 grand a year.
Pay peanuts.
What?
Pay peanuts, get monkeys. Simple as.
Which goes similarly for the bar staff. I have a big issue with cinema staff and bar staff at football grounds. Anything where you're serving customers and there is a time limit. So that game is kicking off at 3 o'clock. You have got to serve these customers before 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Speed up.
Yeah.
Be more efficient. And cinema drives me mad. Like, that film is starting, you better get that popcorn here.
Do you know what stresses me out? In the cop where we sit, I feel like a lot of the time they just don't care. And that, like you said, there's some sort of aura around the club that which is like, oh yeah, it's fine.
It
doesn't matter. I want to be there for when the blooming song comes on the Tampere and it's like dun dun, and I'm there going. If I miss that, if I miss that, I'm angry.
Yeah.
I hate missing that.
The counter argument is turn up earlier, but I don't think it makes
a difference. I turned up at 2:15. I'm sitting that queue for half an hour.
It's true.
And I don't want to slag the staff off like those people. Personally.
Maybe it's a system.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it is a system.
And like you say, you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
But anyway.
So pay me 30 grand and I'll do a better job.
Yeah.
Proudest moments, Sport Blues. I guess that's already been over that. I suppose with the best moments.
I'll tell you another proud moment though.
Go on.
Which won't stick out in anyone's mind. It was the cup. It was about 3 years ago. We were playing my second most hated team, Sturk, at home in the cup, and it went to penalties.
That was about.
It was 4 or 5 years ago. Did Robinson get sent off?
No.
Or someone got sent off at the end, I'm sure.
Could have been
Caddis.
It was like 3-3 or something. Went to penalties.
Anyway, that was a game we had no rights. That was the Lee Clark days, wasn't it? We had no rights taking that to penalties.
Missed them days.
But we did. And then they took the penalties up again by the Gilmerick in front of their own fans.
Which is strange where they never take them.
Yeah, Sturk ended up winning. But we had a crap team, and I was proud of the lads.
We beat Swansea in the round before, and I think that was proud. Yeah, we did all right. Then Lee Clark. One thing you can never moan about Lee Clark's team, they had passion.
It was fun.
They were passionate. While the team selections were dreadful. Lee Clark's bingo balls.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Best away day. My best away day is Huddersfield, but there you go. That's
Rather
my personal opinion.
Liverpool had chips. First away ground I went to where they had chips.
Of course you did.
I'll tell you, best away game.
Fulham for me. Huddersfield or Fulham.
I don't like Fulham.
No,
Doncaster away.
Oh, I like Doncaster.
The season they went down, it was between us and them to go down. I used to work with Billy Sharp, now Premier League Billy Sharp, His brother used to work for me.
You were in the box, weren't you?
And yeah, Billy Sharp, because Doncaster is like a hero. Billy
Yeah.
Sharp he had his box there, and we all went up on the train, and I was with all Villa fans because the whole work lot went. I was the only Blues fan. Obviously, Billy Sharp's brother was there to support Doncaster, and the rest were all Villa fans. And Doncaster went 1-0 up, I think it was. And they had the box and then the balcony, and they were all over me. We were there with Billy Sharp's mum and dad as well, and I was just like, we went 1-0 down, and they were just all in me. Anyway, I think we ended up winning 3-1, and by the end of it, I was the only one on the balcony, and all the Blues fans down there, and I was cheering with them. They were all watching TV in the other room, and Billy Sharp's dad didn't talk to me for the rest of the day because I celebrated too much when we scored. Got a lift back to the station in Billy Sharp's car. And his dad shook everyone's hand except for mine at the end.
How rude!
That's not to slag off Billy Sharp's dad. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but perhaps I over-celebrated. Let's say it's my fault. I over-celebrated.
I think that's rude.
But that was a cracking away day. To go 1-0 down, have them all in my ear, and then to win 3-1
Cracking.
whilst in the box off the TV playing. Oh, what a day!
I just love Rotherham every time we go. I love it. I just don't know what it is. Just love Rotherham.
Another question.
You not got one specific away day that really stands out?
An away day? Either when we beat Fulham 5-2.
Was that asking for general away days or a specific one?
What's your favourite away day? I
You
guess?
not got one real like.
I've got a few.
Chuck one at us, Jimbo.
I
You
remember
like Bolton,
going.
don't you?
I'm gonna avoid the obvious ones where we've done something amazing. Fulham, where we won 5-2, was a class day out. Chelsea away at the start of the 07-08 season, where we lost 3-2, but were winning twice. Forsell and Capo scored a worldie, I think. In the opening day of the Prem season. I'm trying to think. I do have one more, but I know.
Go on.
I don't know, because I like to pick the obscure ones. I really love an obscure away day.
Who's coming up?
It's funny that Doncaster, what Mark says, Doncaster away in the season where we got the playoffs under Houghton and Marlon King scored and we won 3-1. That was a memorable game for me as well. I don't know why. Just liked it. You know, when you just feel a game, you feel it. Luton and Barnsley are promoted.
Luton and Barnsley.
Luton
would be a good one. They got a turnstile in the middle of some houses.
I went to Luton in the 06-07 season and we got turned away because too many Blues fans turned up and there was big trouble there with Luton and Blues, and we got turned away at the gate. So we travelled all the way to Luton to watch the game. We lost though, so I suppose win some, lose some.
Talking against Bristol won.
Bristol did win 2-1.
Did they?
They won 2-1.
Whoa, Dad's going to be happy.
Personal favourite player from past to come back into the current team. I think we've been through this currently, but Forsell.
Who would you bring back?
Yeah, Forsell.
Brucey and his
Forsell to replace Shea when Shea does go, because he will go.
Forsell could still do it, I think.
Forsell probably could still do it. He's still, you've got him on Twitter, he's fit as a fiddle.
I'd have Stephen Carr, because even when I wasn't a Blues fan, which when I didn't like football, I knew of Stephen Carr.
Good old Stephen
So
Carr.
That tells me everything I need to know.
I'm wondering, the Gilmerick Upper group put... I'm wondering if our best 11 will be considerably different next year or not. Obviously, Keith won't be there for most of it, and perhaps Gardner central midfield will change. But if we keep a hold of Shea, will we continue as it is, or will there be a formation shift? I think that the starting 11 next season will be not drastically different, but will be different by two, 3 or 4 players starting 11.
It all depends on whether Hotter stays.
I think Hotter's going to stay now.
If he stays, I think we'll push towards that diamond shape.
Yes, I think
because we're not in the backs against the wall stages that we were this season. Hopefully, we'll get a bit more squad depth
and a bit of quality as well.
And we can afford to diamond it up.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there will be a change in system, and I think there will be a change in... I think he's still going to implement that 4-4-2 if we need it, especially away from home.
I wonder...
That low block 4-4-2.
Yeah.
But
a home, bit of flair.
I think ultimately there will be a change in system and personnel, but we need to wait and see. Summer's going to be an interesting one. Summer's going to be a busy one.
Yeah.
Summer's going to be... I think Shea will go. In the answer to if Shea goes, I think Shea will go.
Yeah.
But,
I think he's the goner.
Best top 6 Premier League match versus Birmingham.
What are we saying? Does that basically mean Liverpool, Arsenal,
Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man U, Man City,
I remember
Spurs?
beating United when I was a really young kid, and that was like, oh my god! It was only a friendly game, but it's like, we beat United. Wow!
There's a few, I think.
Well, I haven't personally seen any apart from watching the cup final on telly whilst I was getting ready for a party when I was
just
younger.
say that counts, doesn't it? Top 6 Arsenal.
So I'd have to say that.
I'm going to avoid the obvious ones again.
I'm going to say the obvious ones because my memory's shocking.
05 season when we beat Arsenal. Do you think the same game? Was that the same game?
I'm thinking of the cup. My memory is appalling, honestly.
I
remember last week.
Yeah, you really can't. Yeah. 05 when we beat Arsenal on the last day of the season. It was the year after their invincible season. But I think that wraps it up. I know this has been a slightly longer version, but we've tried to get through as many questions as we can. Anything from you guys?
No, I'm happy chappy. I've got my shirt.
Yeah, you are. You've got your shirt. We're going to be. The podcast is going to continue every week, or pretty much every week, apart from when we go away.
That's still up for debate.
Over the summer, because I'm going to be away for 12 days in America, and you're probably going to.
And I've got a family.
And you've got a family. It probably will continue.
They might want to see me at some point.
You see them.
That's debatable.
No, you don't. But yeah, we will be continuing this podcast through the summer, so no worries about that. I was asked a few questions whether it would continue through the summer.
Mostly me asking the questions. Do I have to come back every week throughout the summer?
The answer is
Can
yes.
we make it fortnightly? Can I have a break?
You might be able to have a break. I will be pulling guests on once every sort of 2 or 3 weeks. I will be pulling guests on. I have got a few lined up already. In principle.
Yeah.
But obviously, we got to get the ball rolling at some point. I just wanted to establish the podcast and make sure that everybody was enjoying it before we do start pulling some guests on, which we will now do. So let me know if you've got anybody in particular that you want to see on as a guest. Please be realistic. I don't have a magic book of contacts.
And if we haven't answered your question today, just ask it for us again. I'm sure we'll get around to it eventually.
We'll get through to it next week. We'll try our best, but this one dragged on a little bit longer. But
I'll tell you what might be better is DMing them.
No.
Oh, I'll scratch that.
No, scratch that.
I saw it's more of a
record.
No,
I get what you mean. But no, appreciate that, guys. And if you can leave us a like on this video, like we have said, it would be massively appreciated. If you can comment down below any questions for next week, or any questions or score predictions for the match preview and team lineups for the match preview. Again, they will be included like they were last week. But anything from you guys to finish off?
We'll see you at Reading.
We'll see you at Reading, absolutely.
That Game of Thrones episode was massively overrated.
I haven't seen it. I've never watched it, so I'm going to start soon.
Just trust me.
Okay.
But appreciate it, guys, and we will see you next week for episode 10. But James will still question whether it's episode 10 or not.
Yeah.
See you next week, guys.
Keep on.